The dark side of dropshipping success. You've been programmed. Right, that is kind of the simplest way to put it. Hello, friends. The simplest way to put it is you've been programmed. Your thought processes have been changed by stuff like this. All these insane numbers you're seeing everywhere. 60k days, 175k months, 100k monthly rev, 3.4 million, 60k days. Wow. Right? Everywhere you look, you are seeing people maybe of a similar age to you posting screenshots like this, posting money that you couldn't even fathom, that your bloodline couldn't even fathom. And it's a strategy. It is a strategy to sell you. They are messing up your cognitive functions to benefit themselves. So let's understand the situation. I remember like 2015, 2016, the flex was like a couple K a month. That was the flex. Then it was 10k a month. And 10k a month has kind of been this industry standard for a while. And now people say 10k a month can't even, get you a pot to wee in. Right? And now I know what it's like. Look, this is from one of my stores, $750,000 in revenue. In revenue, not profit. Now the profit on this is a couple 100k. Okay? And that's not bad for the time it's been running. But look, I can show this screenshot. This will get to 1 million soon. And I'll be like, look, here's 1 million, here's 1 million, here's 1 million. Doesn't mean I have 1 million from this store directly, right? There's things to pay. If we go back to these screenshots, you don't know what their net margins are. You don't know how much money they're spending to get this. They could be operating at a loss to get these insane screenshots to sell you. Or they're using fake dashboards, which I'm not saying any of these people are, but the whole point is you don't understand their situation. Now, sure, most these screenshots, they could be absolutely crushing it. This could be like 40% margins. If it is, fair play to them. But that is not obtainable for the average person, or they have the mindset that it's not. Okay? They are putting limiting belief on themselves. So not everything is what it seems. Those people that are constantly winning on socials are failing behind closed doors massively. And I can speak from that from experience. This store here, we fail every single day. We have new ideas, they flop. We try and get new stores going up. We're constantly doing product research. We're constantly trying to build flop, flop, flop. Everything flops. And then you just have to find that needle in a haystack. Okay? Now, there's not one winning method that's going to get you to these kind of numbers. It is just sheer brute force. So now you're in a situation where you see things like this online. Whose strategy do you follow? At the minute, me and my team were kind of in this mindset of, let's just not look at anything. Like if you look here, my bid cap CBOs, right? Everyone's talking about different ad strategies, different models, different marketing methods to do. You're being pulled. What do you focus on? And the important thing is focus on what you want to do. Okay? So people are making that money of selling you the dream, right? You probably know people and you'd say to them, oh, I won £20 on a scratch card. And they'd go, well, I won 50. That's kind of what it is in the industry, right? If you drop a 1K a month screenshot, you're going to get laughed at. And maybe that 1K a month is 1K profit, and that's pretty good, right? You're going to get laughed at because they always have to one-up you, because the better their numbers are, the more authority they have and the more they can sell, right? And this is, again, what I mentioned earlier. So they're lying to create this false urgency to make you buy from them, right? They are lying about that. Okay, so we are in a dire situation in the world right now. You need money to survive. And that's being heavily leveraged. That people understand that most people don't want a normal job. They want to make some sort of money online. And that is the false urgency. That is the leverage. When in reality, it doesn't matter when you get to the results you want, because you are all on your own path. So you might be seeing people that are 18 years old getting insane results, and don't look at them and be envious. Look at them and be appreciative, because you're on your path. Okay? And what this is doing is detrimental to your happiness. Now, this happens to me. This happens to my team. You wake up in the morning, the new campaign flopped. You woke up and didn't have the results you wanted, right? And that has a huge impact on your happiness. That has a huge impact on your day. Maybe because you've seen, the new ad campaign didn't go well. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to get work done, right? And, you're always in this loop of these numbers on a screen control my life, right? Because it's very easy to say, well, the numbers on a screen mean my success, mean that I can pay the bills, mean this, mean that. Whereas there's always going to be something coming around that you can capitalize on, okay? Like the goalposts of success are always changing. Okay, you are always changing the goalposts, and the people you are learning from are always changing the goalposts to get more out of you, and you are trying to get more out of it. Because when money is the goal, it's infinite, right? It gets to a point where you are just chasing, but the extra money that you are chasing brings no extra benefit to your life other than ego, okay? Now, it can be very good to be constantly chasing money because you may have massive goals, you may have this, you may have that, but 8 figures in a bank, sat there gathering interest is all you really need to go. And yes, I understand that 10 million in a bank account just for interest is a lot of money. I'm not delusional, okay? So yeah, like your whole mood, your whole day is controlled by that number. And it still happens to me. Okay, it still happens to me. It happens to everyone, right? Now, it is hard to operate at a normal level when you go on social media and you think, oh, okay, I've just had an absolute nukage, right? And then people are posting results. People are posting, their wins. It's like you have a girlfriend, you break up, and you used to do something together, right? And now you can no longer do that with them. It's kind of like that when you're in your success phase, you would do X, Y, or Z, you would do whatever. And now when you're on the download, the nukage, you can no longer do that because you associate it with success. And it can have really mess up your mental wiring, right? And again, it can have a serious impact on your love life, mental health, family. You have to build really, really solid discipline to control this, okay? So you need to work out, why does this happen? How does it happen? Is it because I wake up, the first thing I do is I grab my phone, I look at the results, I look at the dashboards? If that's the case, then you only should be checking that kind of stuff once you're up, you're ready, and you've had a win. Maybe you've got up, you've showered, brushed your teeth, got changed, you've done 50, 100 push-ups, and now you go and look at it. You've already had some sort of win before the numbers on the screen are going to have some sort of impact, right? And you're being trained this way because you are the product. Your credit card, your bank account is what they are after. You are a cash cow, right? If people can target enough people like you and sell a dream by posting those screenshots on Twitter, right? They know that they can fulfill their dream, right? So they are selling you shovels to go dig for gold. And now in the past, I have another YouTuber channel. It's got a few K subs. I ran one of the largest Etsy communities there was, and there was a paid element to it, but it was ridiculously cheap because I never wanted to be the person that was selling people a dream for my own financial gain. I was selling very good resources. I had no issues with it, but it was like you could get it for like £30 a month, and it was due to having a very small financial investment to get in would trigger people to work harder. That's what I found. But when people are selling £500 a month, £3,000, £4,000 mentorships and stuff, that's when it gets a bit weird, right? Like they use all this emotional based triggers to get you to get your credit card out, like before you realize you're typing in your card details on their sales funnel, right? And now the full scale result of this is we are in a generation where people are not like they used to be. Now, the modern school system was built by, was it like Henry Ford and Carnegie, to create workers that would go and work in their factories. So everyone was designed to do this, and now they've gone from everyone designed to being a drone to then being their own independent person. It's this huge flip that, is the system prepared for that? Right? Like, the system is laid out for this, which is terrible. Not everyone should be a drone, do you know what I mean? But such a detrimental impact, such large scale, is going to result in a lot of uneducated people, unmotivated, useless workers that are achieving nothing. And because they're achieving nothing, their sadness is spiraling out of control, leading to increased depression, right? Medications, and just no productivity, no pushing. No one wants to reach for higher highs, right? So how are we going to progress the future of the world when it's built on an industry and a population of educated and motivated people? Now, obviously, it's not everyone. It's a very small people, but it's like the stock market, right? 8% year after year after year compounds lots of people. How many people are like this year after year after year now that to when it gets to the breaking point? Right? And we're getting past lives. People who are selling a dream are spending more than they earn. That's a good thing, right? These people are making all this money selling you, and maybe they are running their own legitimate businesses, but they are selling, okay, here's a little like inside thing. Do you know those YouTube videos where it's like spending 25k at Gucci, 25k shopping haul, day in the life of an average millionaire, whatever? That's not an average day for them. They're putting it all on a credit card, and it is an investment for them. They are investing this money for the content to hope to recoup it back by sales on their course. That's what they all do, right? And when you are spending more than you earn, you're putting yourself in a very bad position, right? Look into like the compound effect. I think I mentioned that later on in this little show, but look into compounding, investing, and the compound effect, because it's really powerful. You can make a lot of money. If you're making good money now, be wise with it, know what you're doing, and you can set yourself up for life, or because the money you're making now will not last forever. Okay, so you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Some people find success at 18, others find it at 70, right? There's like Zuckerberg, was the youngest billionaire. There was the Colonel from KFC, and I think he made KFC at like 70 or something, right? It's an analogy that gets used a lot, but it's true, okay? It is true. Now, the thing you need to focus on is working hard and smart, knowing you're on the right path, working day after day. You need to clock in and graft. If you are getting overwhelmed by a lot of things, don't get overwhelmed in your work environment. Get overwhelmed when you're on a walk, when you're in a shower, when your brain is empty and doing mundane tasks that allow you to expand the thought process more than the isolated environment that you're putting it in now, right? Like when you're in a shower, you have great ideas, you have great solutions. And it's because it's boring, it's mundane. You're just in there doing nothing, waiting for water to come and wet you, right? So learn to control those thoughts. If they are too powerful to control in those isolated environments, break them down, write them down, assess and understand. Now, some of these thoughts might be, why am I not getting my work done? Why am I procrastinating? Why am I doing this, right? It's because I'm being lazy. Why am I going to the gym? It's because I feel tired, but you're feeling tired because you're not going to the gym. You're feeling tired because you're not eating right, because you've just had loads of carbs for lunch. Now, of course you want a nap, right? It's because you scroll TikTok all day. So now once you understand what it is that's causing these problems, and these are problems because if they weren't, they wouldn't annoy you, what do? Well, you take your phone away from your workspace. You leave it downstairs. You leave it in another room. Put it in the cupboard. It no longer can be looked at. Limit yourself to like one monitor. Maybe you only work on a MacBook. What I like to do is like 3-4 times a week for like 3-4 hours is I go and work from a coffee shop. And I just have my MacBook and I just work there. I just get coffee. It's nice background noise. No one disturbs me. And you have this social pressure of focusing on the task, because you can't just be watching a YouTube video there. You can't just be on Netflix there. People can see you, right? So once you're there, you really can lock in, all right? And just learn to control your thoughts, isolate, understand, and assess. So once you're on the path to achieving what it is you want, you've controlled your mind. You're limiting what goes into your mind. You're looking at these people posting their results, but you're seeing it for what it is. Not just these insane numbers, not just this kid 18 that's made 70K in a day. You broke it down, you've assessed. You learn up and downs are natural, right? You have, I saw a video of bulls going down a ramp, and one of them was like this, and one of them was like this. And the one that was up and down went down quicker, right? And that's kind of what it is. So to succeed, you have to fail, embrace failure, and be excited for it, because a failure just puts you closer to success, right? If you knew there was a specific amount of times you would fail before your business would boom, you would love to fail. Failing would be great for you, right? And now don't measure growth in days, measure it in months. Time flies by. Time is going so quick that you can't measure your success based on yesterday. Look at it from a larger window, okay? So what do you do instead? Follow boring routines. Do as little as possible and a lot in the little, okay? I'm going to do a video on this called like your routine is your weapon, to break down a great routine that's not full of fluff, that is just pure execution. But you should be focusing on a few things, very few things within your business or operations or strategies, and do a lot in them, right? Celebrate the small wins and consistent wins. Learn deep, not wide. Block content that triggers comparison. Build up personal security. Invest, save, and keep X in the bank account as a backup. Learn the compound effect, right? So study what your monthly expenses are, how lean can you be, and ideally you want to save like 6 months worth of savings. Keep it in a bank, don't touch it. So now you have a runway. If everything was to hit the fan, you've given yourself 6 months, maybe you do a year. And I promise you're going to operate at a much higher level. And when you're operating at this level, you're going to be operating in the abundance thing, because that call with a client you're going on is not the end of the world. That's not going to pay for food. You know you're safe for that, and you have the power to say no, which is going to help you a lot. So reclaim your brain and rebuild your game. If this hit, drop a comment. I've got a follow-up video coming that shows exactly how I'm rebuilding with focus and on a routine with your weapon. Follow me on Instagram, guys. That's all I want. I'm not selling you anything. If you want help, just follow me, DM me, and I'll get back to you when I have time. I'm here to help all of you. That's why I'm putting out this content. But yeah, follow me on Instagram, because I want to have a cool Instagram account and a cool Instagram following. And it's just a great place to network with people and connect with you guys. So I appreciate your time. I hope this helped, and hope you have a great day.